This is a combination video, actually. A combination Sean's toy room, because we have a Star Trek figure here, and Sean's model builds in a way, because I'm doing it in the model building room. Now, I have a color I mixed up for Voyager Dark Gray. Now, here is the sleeve of McCoy, and you can see how it wore away the flesh color, right? Well, I've been experimenting with the different grays I have, and I have discovered, as you'll see, that the Voyager Dark Gray I have is almost an exact match for the gray on McCoy's uniform. So all I have to do is carefully paint it on his uniform. Not the cuffs, of course, they were slightly darker gray. But you carefully paint it on the uniform, and you can get back the original color. And if you paint it properly, you won't accidentally destroy the not sure what I'm trying to say. You won't get into joints. But see? It's the exact shade. I'll even take a picture. There you go. That's amazing. The exact shade. And this is a custom mix I made. So you just keep painting, and you can effectively restore a figure whose color had worn away over the course of the last, well, I got him in Christmas of '94. That's amazing. That's very incredible, actually. It's going to require a few coats, of course. But that's incredible. Now, as far as the dark sleeves, you see the dark cuffs on the sleeves? I think that would be more useful for the medium gray from Folk Art. We're going to experiment with that. Use the other brush here. Yeah. All right, so let's see. Now I know it's, oh dear. Look at that. Well, I've got to grab my stir stick here. I'll be right back. It's entirely possible that after 5 years, I finally reached the liquid limit of one of my bottles of Folk Art paint. No, sorry, 6 years. It was October of 2017. But then again, maybe not. Because if you take a close look at the front middle of his uniform, you'll see that it's a warmer gray than the rest of it. So I should be able to take the dark gray here, carefully apply it to his cuff, and make it, well, that's lightening it up. Come on now. Come on. Make it darker. Come on. Let's approach it from underneath. There you go. Let's see if this works any better. That's not dark enough. Let me wash the brush out again. Let's see if I have a darker gray, because I might have to go for the gunmetal. But let me just try this once more. Because you can see I can do his collar too. And I'm going to repaint his hair white as well. This is going to be kind of a new video. It's going to be called the Restoring an Old Action Figures Paint Job. No, still too light. All right, so if that's too light, then I have to pick a darker color, maybe a gunmetal. All right, here we go, more stir sticks. So it's been a while with the gunmetal, so I've got to stir it again, freshen it up, after all these months since I last used it. Oh yeah, okay, take a look. There's the gunmetal. Yeah, that's more like it. All right, so we'll see how this goes. It's quite a bit of an experiment, but we'll see what happens now. So, his sleeve again over the other sleeve. You know, these folk art paints have really come in handy over the past 6 years. I mean, that's where I got my start with model building. That the Enterprise, the original 650 scale Enterprise, was done completely with folk art paints. That's the one that... All right, see? There you go. There. Focus on my finger. Come on. Well, there you can see it. So that is a picture to take. There you go. Well, I think I'm pleased because you can see the remnants there. So that's a pretty good comparison. Excellent, excellent. There you go. So folk art gunmetal for the trim and my custom mix of dark Voyager for the rest of the uniform. And you will have this action figure restored. Now this is quite a restoration that was needed for this one. But that's not unfortunate. That's a good thing, actually. Excellent, excellent. All right. Of course, you won't get everything on the first try, not with the metallic, I don't think. But we can at least go after the back of his neck now. The back of his collar. There you go. That's it. That's it. Yep. Good. Good. You don't need to do anything on the front. Both sleeves have been done pretty well. That's great. Yeah, I'm very pleased. So we're just going to put him on his stand. For now. There you go. All right. So we've got the two paints. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take a picture of the two paints I can use to restore Dr. McCoy. Admiral McCoy, sorry. And you can see the sleeve where I already made the restoration, and you can tell the color is not different that much at all from his normal color, so that is great. So that is a nearly 9-minute video of how to repaint an action figure, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye. Okay, well now we've done some of Riker, so we're going to continue with McCoy here. You can see his one arm is complete, so we have to do the other arm, which means I got to find the Voyager mix again. This one. So I'm going to have to change the water and try the Voyager mix again. So I'll be right back. I found when it comes to filming content, it's better to do it when you're in the mood to do it. And that way, even if you build up a backlog of videos, it overcomes a drought. Yeah, I'm going to stir up the paint again so it's not too light. Although I don't know if it's going to make a difference. Oh no, it is. Here we go. See, that's the thing. The paint tends to settle. But the good thing is, unlike testers, even though this is almost a tester's bottle, it doesn't dry up. See, testers has a tendency to dry up, especially the ones with the white label on the cap, or the white cap. So once I'm going to use this brush because its bristles are more stable. All right, so now we have to go after this arm. The good thing is he only wore away at the arms, not not at the not on the trunk. And I tried to do this, but you see how I didn't get the shiny black. So I'll have to touch him up with a shiny black, but not today. Today we're going after the sleeve. So let's try the elbow joint first. That's too watery. Okay, let's try this brush, which should be good enough by now. That's the problem. Sometimes my mix is a bit too watery and it doesn't quite get all the color on there like you'd want it to. So anyway, the McCoy painting will have to be the first video, and the Riker painting will be the second video. Just have to keep them in their folders. Yeah, see, this is not really working at all. It's not going on. That's better. You just have to get more paint on the brush. That was my problem. Okay, here we go. It's amazing how the color just it works. It works really well. Sorry if I'm being a bit silent here now. I know. Well, actually, you look. It looks almost the same color on camera. That's great. I mean, I didn't even intend for it to work, but I should have realized it would work because I used it for Picard, and you can't even tell where he was painted, where he was touched up and repaired. But of course, it's a loose figure of mine, so I'm not so worried about the collectible value. It's more like fixing the wear and tear that occurred on it during the 30 years I've had it. Well, it's actually 29 years this Christmas for McCoy. Which figure? Well, my original Commander Riker figure, but he was lost years ago, so. Yeah, so the oldest figures I have are McCoy and Scotty, and Scotty's going to need touching up too, especially in the white paint on his head. And McCoy's going to need more than one coat for his arm to be fixed. But now we're going to go after the inner elbow joint. So let's there. Let's try that. Ooh, don't have too much paint on the brush. Enough to cover everything so that he's not worn away again. I don't know how he got worn away so much. It's not like I had an Enterprise D playset or anything. Maybe he was just left out on the shelf and he got worn away, but that doesn't account for the fact that there's not a single bit of wear on Spock's uniform. Ambassador Spock is just fine. All right, well, that's just the first coat on McCoy, and you can see the right arm only needs a little bit of touching up here and there to fill in some gaps that went missing. There we go. That's better. Oh, and on the inner forearm of... Oh, not that much. There you go. That's better. There you go. Good. Excellent. And I do like how the wear didn't have to go into the trunk of the body either, so it's working out. Okay. And don't have any paint run. What you do with the paint run is you just brush it over to fill in the gaps in the remaining section, because you still want the ribbing on his arms to be visible. You don't want to disrupt that. So I'm actually going to lean him like that against, say, the Tamiya model cement, so that his arm can dry in that configuration for now. Now, I had tried to clean up his face before. Okay, I'm going to try something with his face now. I'll use this brush again. I'm going to use the tiniest bit of paint thinner. Now, that's what I use to get the freshly applied paint off of his decals, off the Aztec decals on the Restored Enterprise D. And I'm going to try to use it to clean up his face and get the dirt off. We're going to see if that works, especially around his mouth where it seemed to almost have liquid paper or something on there. So let's see what happens here. If it doesn't work, and I'm going to go over it with a Q-tip to see if it works, and on his forehead as well. All right, so now, I know that's remnants of the gray on the brush. So let's see what the Q-tip can do here. Now let's get a fresh Q-tip. All right, let's see if the Q-tip can fix McCoy's face and clean it up in a manner that it hasn't been cleaned up in many years. It seems to be working without damaging any of the paint that is on his skin when it was originally applied over 30 years ago. And of course, if it doesn't work completely, we'll just say that McCoy was in a field hospital and he got a bit damaged. Hello, I'm back again. It's Sean from Sean's Toy Room, and I'm here in the model building room again because I have to do the finishing touches on Dr. McCoy. So I have to use the gunmetal on his arms again. So I'm going to detach him from his base. Use the stir stick to stir up the gunmetal paint, because it has a habit of, the color doesn't stay, so you have to stir it up. All right, I'm back. So, should be able to paint, get the base out of the way. You don't want anything to damage it. All it needs is a little bit of see, it's almost as pristine as it was way back when, even with the crooked label. But all you need to do here is just a little bit of painting on his wrists. And he should be done. I mean, there's still some paint to use on the there's still some painting to do on his arms to fill in some gaps. But you know, I'm thinking just leave the normal color alone. It's kind of difficult to get the cuffs just right. I mean, this cuff worked nearly perfectly. You just have to do a little bit. But this cuff is really kind of difficult. I'm almost tempted to do a base color on it to get it to work. like a dark gray or something. It's a flat coat. Oh, that should work for now. Yes, and his arms are a bit stiff because I painted them, but the trick is that they're mostly full, so that should be about the end of painting for McCoy. Yes, there's a few spots in his arms that are still flesh colored, but they're very minor. So he turns at the elbows and everything. So I put him on his base. Put him on his base this way. There. So Dr. McCoy is pretty well finished by now as far as being painted. So there is the picture of the repainted McCoy figure. And yes, I know the arms are a slightly different shade. And because this is almost like a plum gray, whereas this is like a bluish gray. But that's lay him down like this. There you go. So that's the end of painting McCoy, and Riker's done as well.